mga tao Karatay me olengi Ogudengli selngar selar Almeringa Ulmo oingera Emusume Engmosebe Saiban Lotion le la tam tereke Skaratay me orange Oguden li sel ngarang selaru Ang maringin Break it down. Karatay me olengi Ogudengli selngara selaru Almeringa Olmo oingera Emusume Engmosube Saiban Los yole la tamterege Skaratay me orange Ogudengli selnara selaru Almeringa Ogudengli selnara selaru Almeringa Bring it home Selva era blode Lotumang narang-naramo May siri Maalit sinuel nga Sisentan at pagkaringi Ang rendezvous Ang haring iye Missing overdue I'm a unsaid Mabadul Telenova Narakwabas asne Memang ngalutilo lang alay galilangas Liliw klavan naragigre
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. Family members of Eric and Lyle Menendez want the brothers released less than 30 years after they were convicted in Los Angeles of killing their parents.
They were boys, young, scared, and abused by their father in ways no child should ever experience.
Brian Anderson is their cousin. 2 weeks ago, the L.A. County DA announced his office would be reviewing new evidence to determine whether the Menendez brothers should be serving life sentences. Anna Maria Barreau is their cousin.
If Lyle and Eric's case were heard today, with the understanding we now have about abuse and PTSD, there is no doubt in my mind that their sentencing would have been very different.
The brothers admitted they killed their parents in 1989, but they feared they were about to kill them to prevent the disclosure of the father's long-term sexual molestation of Eric. But one family member, Milton Anderson, says through an attorney he believes they got the appropriate sentence. President Biden spoke at a memorial in Washington for Ethel Kennedy, the widow of Senator Robert F. Kennedy.
To the Kennedy family, the Biden family is here for you. It's always been for us.
The president talked about the help the family got after the death of Biden's son, Beau. The Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles denied a request for clemency for the man who this week could be the first person in the country executed for a murder conviction tied to the diagnosis of shaken baby syndrome. The Nebraska Supreme Court says people with felony records can register to vote in a decision with implications for the upcoming election. The court ruled the Secretary of State had no authority to declare unconstitutional a state law that restored the voting rights of those who have been convicted of a felony. The official order would have kept thousands of Nebraskans from voting in November. Stocks finished higher, the Dow up 337 points. This is AP News. No major damage was reported from an earthquake in Turkey.
The earthquake was a magnitude 5.9 and it struck the town of Kale in Malatya province, according to local officials. It was felt in the cities of Diyarbakir, Elazig and Malatya, according to local TV. There were no immediate reports of any injuries or damage. In Diyarbakir, people left homes in panic, according to reports. Malatya was one of 11 provinces that was devastated by a powerful earthquake that struck parts of Turkey and northern Syria last year. I'm Karen Shamas.
Six-time Super Bowl winning owner Robert Kraft is among the 25 candidates in the contributor category for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So was the late John Facenda.
Each new Sunday meant a brand new challenge, rich with new opportunities. A time for achievement, a time for purpose, a time for glory.
Facenda was the voice of NFL films. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami and greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Good morning, Marianas.
You are all caught up. It's 7:27 a.m. It is October 17th. It is Thursday, and we are rocking here in Saipan. It's 81 degrees outside right now. Relative humidity is relatively muggy at 88% up there at the airport. We're looking at a little kind of gloomy day today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies. High near 87. Light winds. Chance of rain, 40%. That pretty much guarantees we're going to get rained on. Oh, you know what? It does. I didn't change the date on the YouTube thing. Thanks, Tobot. Appreciate that. I wonder if I can still do that on the fly. Looks like I can, and I'm doing it right now. Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you what, not 100% on our game. That's it. That's the whole thing. We're a little bit off the game here. We're still not 100% back. We're still not 100% healthy. I think you can hear it in the voice maybe a little bit. Yeah. Still raspy, still coughing, and still getting rid of some of the... actually, you know what? I've been busy trying to create the new industry for the CNMI. It's a mucus export business. So far, we've been very productive. But it hasn't been productive. At least it hasn't been making any money for anybody. So that's not a good thing. We're still a little bit under the weather for sure, but we're coming around on the other side of it. We are definitely a lot better now than we were the last few days. So I'm not complaining. It wouldn't do me any good anyway. So, we're okay. We're getting through it. Hey, by the way, if you're wondering about the weather tonight, imagine the way it looks outside right now. Gray and rainy, only more of that, and without the sun. It's going to be darker. So tonight we're going to have, we're looking at showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Some of the storms could produce heavy rainfall, cloudy with a low around 78. Calm winds going to start picking up later this evening and a 60% chance of rain. Same tomorrow, only tomorrow the wind's going to pick up for us as well. Looking at gusts as high as 18 miles per hour, 16% chance of rain. That's going to continue well into tomorrow night. Saturday, it might let up a little bit, but not too much. Saturday night's going to have a 50% chance of rain. It's going to be a 50-50 chance for rain throughout the weekend too. So if you like soup and being under a blanket, this is your weekend. Not too bad. Man, I'll tell you what, it is, this little cold is starting to make its way around Saipan. I can hear it already. I can hear from people. I know people not going to work, kids not going to school. My kid's getting called, one got called, we got called yesterday. Hey, he's not doing too well. You got to bring him back. All right. So we did that. And today he was trying to be a trooper and go to school. Like, no, dude, you are not going. You can take today off. Well, I got this stuff. No. Don't worry about it. We got you. You're not going to be going to school today, buddy. And so far, though, daughter's rocking like a champ. She's got those superior mom genes that Kathy's got that's keeping her sick-free throughout all this stuff. I know I used to say that I had the superior sick-repellent genes. It does not work. I can't lie with that anymore. It's not working for me. So it is what it is. That's what we got right now. Hey, we got you already the latest from the Associated Press to get you guys up to date with everything that's happening in the United States and around the world. And I'll tell you what, it's a little wild out there, especially if, I don't know, you see the road explosions going on over there in North Korea, where they have this road between Korea, the two Koreas, North Korea and South Korea. And the North Koreans, and basically one extra step to say, we're not your friends even more, they blew up their side of the road saying, nope, I guess we're not going to be exchanging Christmas cards, at least not by the road over there in North Korea. So that's too bad. The good news is we're going to have the folks from forestry in studio today. Yes, that's the good stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about trees and planting, fighting erosion, and we're going to talk about all the good work that these guys have been doing. We talked to Doong on the show. We talked to them on at the proclamation signing at the governor's office. And today we're going to have them in studio. So we're really looking forward to that. That's going to be a big blast for all of us. And these guys, they know what they're doing. They're spreading. They're like our Johnny Appleseeds. They're wanting apple seeds. Only it's not just about apples. They're doing it for all kinds of stuff that we've got growing out here. Plants, trees, and fruit-bearing stuff, too, which is big time important. Looking forward to that as well. Hey, by the way, we messaged Kodep yesterday. He was going to be on the show. And we have a rescheduled date. He's going to be on next Tuesday. So if you want to hear about some of the reasons why Kodep Ogumoro is going to be running for the Board of Education seat that is going to be open, he is going to be in studio to talk about it. So we're looking forward to that. So that'll be next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Not too shabby. Got that going for us. We'll get into some of our local news and everything in just a little bit. We took that trip to go to Guam. We were last week when we were broadcasting from the Agana Shopping Center, which was a blast, by the way. It was an absolute blast. Probably where I picked up this cold, but what are you going to do? But while we were there, we missed out on a few things over here. But just before we left, on Saturday, we flew to Tinian for the Oktoberfest. And that was the second annual Oktoberfest celebration. And it really commemorated the German roots here in the Sinai. And, of course, the Hofschneider family is from Tinian, right? And they're all someone is from Tinian. That's one of the links to the German roots, and there's more than one. But this year was really special because it was the second one. It was even bigger than last year's inaugural event. And we got a special message from the ambassador, the German ambassador to the Philippines and to all of the Pacific, who apologized for not being able to make it, but still gave a nice message to everyone, which was really pretty cool. We do have a video about that. In fact, before we get too deep into it, I'll throw to that. But there's something I was thinking about since yesterday, and that was I think we left some meat on the bone, so to speak. Talking about that scenario about the hickeys with that guy and the two girls fighting over him and all that. You know what? That guy deserves some props. We gave him a little bit of guff, right? For still being in your 30s, living at home, and rocking hickeys. But I think what's better is this guy's got to be throwing it down, because he's got two chicks fighting over him in their 30s, and he's living at home, and his door doesn't even have a doorknob. Dude's got to have something going on. So props to that guy. Anybody who's going to give that guy a hard time, I don't think that's fair. You gotta give respect to that game. I don't know how I let that slide. How did I miss that little nugget of truth? It's such a funny story. Oh my gosh. Anyway, good on you, brother. Man, I'll tell you, no names given in any of that stuff at all. Yeah, exactly. His machete was his doorknob. That was it. But it wasn't even the doorknob. It was like the machete that's hanging by the door because it has no doorknob. So they used that machete to open the doorknob. Girls are fighting over that guy. Hey, I'm telling you. What kind of pimp are you? 30s, living at home. Girls breaking into your room with the machete. Big pimpin' indeed. Man, I don't know. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. We salute you, buddy. Keep it going. That's a topic for another conversation, for another day maybe. Past this one. How old is too old to be at home? Now, if you buy your parents' home, that's different. But how old is too old to be at home? For me, it was 17. I mean, it was like right after high school. Like, gone. In the Army. Oh, Chris, we can talk about that trade. We can talk about it all day. All right, I'll tell you what. I do want to show you this before it gets too old. This is a real quick clip of the Oktoberfest celebration that happened over there in Tinian. And this is something that was put together by, they got somebody to put it together for them. I didn't put it together for them, but I was there and give you guys a little bit of a taste of what it was like over there in Tinian. We'll swap it over and get you guys going. So here you go. This is a little bit that they put together so you can see what it was like in Tinian. Don't ask for translations, though.
Hey, Conference Center here in Tinian. Thank you for coming to Oktoberfest. Before we get too far down the line, I want to welcome up our chairman up here, Mr. Robert Jones, to say a few
Who's that
words.
looking? Good, goofy looking guy there. Nice hat, Brad.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Have some fun tonight. First of all, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all of the people who helped put this together, especially want to thank the team for Guam, especially Mrs. LaGuana, that she's German, and Palaj's mother, and she and her sisters. It's a lot of work here, you know. How about give them a big hand?
Stuff that we're going to do for you tonight. We're really excited about it. Don't worry, it's not going to get that scary. But we do have a special message for you all tonight.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening. This is Germany's ambassador to the Philippines, but also to Palau, the Marshall Islands, and Micronesia. I'm very happy to learn that you are going to organize for the second time already an Oktoberfest in the Northern Pacific, in Tinian Islands, a former German colony, and I'm very happy that the German tradition of Oktoberfest also will live on in this part of the region. Unfortunately, I will not be able to join you, but I'm sure you will enjoy German food, German sausage, German beer, German music, and everything that is part of Oktoberfest and makes Oktoberfest such an important and vital event all over the world. So happy Oktoberfest to you and best greetings from Manila.
Turnout this year, and I hope everybody enjoyed the Oktoberfest, and they'll come back again next year for the third annual. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun. And, you know, I loved seeing Mr. Jones get involved and, really have as much fun with it as he does. And, man, I'll tell you, that was a full-on family affair. They did work tirelessly on getting all that food prepared, getting that place decorated. I don't know if you've been over there in Tinian. I'm sure you have, but you've got the Bar K restaurant, and then off in the Tinian Western Lodge, which they just expanded this year. And then they've got the conference center over there. And that's where all that was. So it's a big hall, all decorated. And it was just great. It was just great fun. Everyone had a good time. The German beer was fantastic. The food was outstanding. I'll tell you, if you like German food, that was your place, because all of it was great. All the tastes were so good. The smells were outstanding. I mean, it was really, it was special. What you got? Jim says, that's a real nice message from the ambassador. Interesting that they have kind of a regional ambassador in addition to Philippines. Yeah. I'll tell you what, it certainly is really cool to be able to do that, and that they were able to get him, send out a message and then get that kind of a response is great. And as he was delivering that message, I was thinking, like, wow, does this guy have like the best job? 'Cause it kind of seems like he's got the best job. Like what exactly does Germany's ambassador to the Philippines do? I think he probably has a lot of fun, especially going out to all the folks in Micronesia and everything. I think it would be a lot of fun too. I can't imagine like there's a whole lot of global security concerns that hinge upon that relationship. So I can't imagine there's even the trade issues. So it's just got to be great. Of all the jobs that you could get being an ambassador, I think being the ambassador to the Philippines, being the German ambassador to the Philippines, that's up there. That's pretty good. That's not a punishment assignment. That's like a great one. That's like picking up an AAG's job out here. It's got to be pretty good. Hey, good morning, Louisa. Great to see you too. Yeah, I'm telling you, like that guy's got probably one of the best jobs in the entire Pacific, and good job, man. I don't know what he did to earn it, but he must have been good. Must have been a good boy. I know. Not a great accent. Well, hold on one second. Might be a couple of those coming in. Hey, in about 17 minutes, we're going to have the folks from CNMI Forestry coming in. They're going to tell us all about the things that they've been doing over the last few days and the last couple of weeks for Arbor Month here in the CNMI, including planting they just did at the Guma Justicia and like right over there by the courthouse, which is pretty cool. All right, it looks like the comments are working over there on YouTube, by the way, Tobot. I can see Vincent Raymond. He's there. Good morning, Vincent. It's great to see you, too. Yes. Man, I'll tell you, the comments that come in all the different channels here are hilarious. By the way, guys, the numbers are open. The phone lines are open. It's, wait. That just came in. All right, so our phone lines are open, 789-2323. Drop us a line if you want to give us a call. Talk about everything that's going on in your world. Let us know, what are we missing? Is there something else that's cool that's happening out here in the CNMI? Something that people need to know? Let us know. Hey, Tobat says, hey, I need a job. Can I work at forestry as a standing operator? You give us a ring. They'll be in here in about 15 minutes. We'll get Doom Tudela is going to come in here. I don't know who else is coming in, but I know he's coming for sure. And so we'll hear more about what they're doing, what's available, and probably the activities that they've got lined up for the rest of the month. And there's plenty, because when he called us on the phone, there was like lots and lots of stuff that was going on. You know, I want to mention something that I saw about, we started to talk about this a little bit yesterday. When we were in we were talking about that building that has the water issue over there in Dandan. Now, I don't know the people who own the building or run it or anything, couldn't tell you. But I did dip into the comments over there because, you know, one of the people in there was complaining about the CUC person who said that, hey, it's probably, or where was it? Hold on, where was the comment from them? Where is it? I want to get the CUC quote that's in there. Yeah, it said they saw the CUC was there inspecting the water meter at the building. Said the service pipe has good water, so it's probably the customer side that has issues. So this is a good thing for CUC questions, by the way. If you've got a problem with plumbing at your house, CUC's job is not really to go and check that out. But CUC does, everything else. They make the water by pumping it out of the ground. They transport it to the reservoir. They treat it along the way, and they get it to the reservoir. They get it They pressurize the lines. They make sure that the lines work to get to you. They make sure that the pressure in the lines isn't too much to blow out the rest of the lines. And then when it gets to you, and they test it also, and to make sure all the water that gets to your meter is safe. Everything after the meter, though, is on you, right? So, like, all of the equipment after the meter is on you. So CUC is not really in charge of what happens after the meter, right? But if they do see that there's a there's a big water leak, like if your reservoir is overflowing at your property, they can turn off your water to your meter just to make sure that they don't do it. All right, good. This is some of the stuff in the comments. But either way, that's to say that is the responsibility of the people who are the ownership. So I'm checking Toba. I saw comments similar to this. It says, the lady's a crook to her tenants. I used to live there and so many problems. Something breaks, she sends her maintenance to fix it with duct tape or electrical tape. Yeah, there's bad landlords out there for sure. Definitely. But if that is something going on over there with that building, that's her, right? That's not CUC. So CUC doesn't assess the whole building. That would be the landowner, or the property owner. So that's it. So Says she's so quick to take your deposit away if you don't pay when she comes. Yeah, I bet, man. I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that you don't want to rent from. And there's a lot of people like that out here. It's a big deal. I know it. I don't know her for sure. But yeah, if you're not providing, and that's the thing, that's where I think it's like a market economy, where like if people know that place isn't good and they've got a bad person running the show, like you wouldn't want to rent from them. So it behooves her to just do it the right way. And what it sounds like she just needs a better pump, and then have the reservoirs up on top of the building to fill that up from CUC, and then let gravity drive it all the way down. And she might not have big enough reservoir. It looks like a big building. I'm looking at it, 3 stories, how many units? Just from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, I can't tell from here. I really can't. But you figure that maybe, let's just say it's a 15-unit building, right? Not to mention what's down there on the ground floor with the actual businesses, right? I mean, that could be easily like 18, 20 units. And the bottom one, like a barbershop, that's going to use a lot of water. All those hair washings and all that stuff. Her pump looks like an aquarium pump. It's probably not going to be good enough. But a building like that, you don't want to have a pump that's just, you want a pump that's going to pump that water up to the reservoir up on top of the building. You need rooftop reservoir for sure. Yeah. Well, anyway, so I tried to explain that to one of those guys in there. I'm like, hey, it's just not a CUC thing. Like if CC, they only manage to all this other stuff. So this person just doesn't understand what's going on with the how CUC works. They're like, I'm like, no, that's not CUC's deal. CUC does a good job of doing CUC things. The guys and the men and women who do the real work, they know what they're doing. I can't talk to you about outside of that. But just from working with all those guys. Speaking of CUC, they're going to be shutting down the hospital. Oh, no, not that crazy. Don't worry. But in 2 days, they're going to be doing a power interruption, and it's going to be at the hospital. And the reason is because they're going to be doing some new electrical connection work over there at the hospital. So they're going to be shutting it down. So CUC is going to be running generator power all day on Saturday. Everyone else is fine. Everyone all around the area is fine. It's just a hospital. So they just put that out, a little advisory to let everybody know about it. They're very specific. If you look at the picture that came out with their press release, it's like a yellow line that's just drawn around the hospital. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. Anyway, those are 2 things I want to get to just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey, this was a big one. And I think we actually need more time to talk about this one. I posted all this stuff after I left here yesterday, all from the phone, so I don't have the file handy, but I'm going to pull it up right now. Give me one quick second. Let's open it up so you guys can see it. And this is cool stuff. Here, let me move this over. We're going to share this for you. Kapow. Okay, now I actually need to press it out. Yeah, that's my Thanos snap. All right, so this is it. This is a ruling from Judge Pro Tem Barcenas. Yeah, we posted it yesterday, and you were able to see it. It's already on the NMI News Service page, so you can check it out for yourself. Good morning, Jamel. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. So if we go through it like too quick, you're going to be able to see this on our page. Again, posted in JPEG form so you can see all of it. If you'd prefer the PDF, if you need it for something, just slide into my DMs and I'll forward it to you. All right. So this is it. This is the case against former Governor Ralph De Leon Guerrero Torres. And then this is about like the first class travel and all that stuff, right? And the contempt charge. I don't think the contempt charge in play anymore. So the more than anything, what this is about Judge Barcinas disqualifying the Office of the Attorney General from prosecuting the former governor, which is kind of crazy, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy. So the Attorney General's office is like, yeah, that's not cool. We're going to appeal that. So they appealed it to the Supreme Court. And then they had to file a motion to stay the proceedings, which means basically press pause on everything until they get a ruling on Judge Barcinas's ruling. And it's crazy that it even had to go to that. You'd think it would be like an automatic snap, yes, done. We'll wait. He's been pretty judicious with regards to everything else in the whole process. So you think it would be no big deal. And he actually was saying that he almost wanted to like save face by saying, he kind of split the apple on this one. He's like, well, you didn't really prove your case on this one, but I guess I got to give it to you on the second one. And it's kind of how it closed too. So there is a stay pending the decision. Excuse me, the decision from the NMI Supreme Court about that. So we could go through the whole thing. You could read it yourself. But they're talking about the whole thing, and they explained a couple of different reasons why they went for it. Then the judge gets into his discussion about the whole thing, and especially with the separation of powers, which I think is the big one you get to. But the success of the merits of the possibility of irreparable injury. Well, I mean, like, let's just get back. Let's go. We're going to go all the way down to the end, just to make this easy for everybody, because you can go and get in detail if you want. Said the court finds that a stay would not be warranted under the second prong of the Magnolia test. However, because the court finds the Commonwealth's argument sufficient to satisfy the first prong of the test, court grants that the Commonwealth's motion to stay. To the extent of disqualification of the OAG raises important questions about the separation of powers, the court finds that those questions should be resolved by the NMI Supreme Court before further proceedings in this case. So at least there's a little bit of sanity in there. Yeah. What's funny is that initially the judge was saying, hey, you don't have to appeal this. You could have just asked for a reconsideration. He's like, yeah, but we're not getting paid by the hour, Judge. You might be. And defense counsel might be, but we're not. So we want to get this done. We want to get it done right away. We want to get an answer on this. And what are we going to get in a forever feedback loop on reconsiderations and re-reconsiderations, or reconsiderations of the reconsiderations? So this is the way to go. They went right for it with the straight up appeal, and that's it. And no matter what, any judge worth his salt would be like, yep, that makes sense. You could stay this based on that. Wow, Sylvan, good to see you. And Sil Smith, wow, great to see you. From Cali and from North Carolina, great to see you guys. Getting in. Folks from the mainland. Oh my gosh, we could really get into a mainland thing. Talk about, and what do you guys think is going on with everything out here? I'll tell you what, I had a conversation yesterday. CPA is going to be doing some interesting things. And man, I'll tell you what, I think they're doing all this at the absolute wrong time. They're doing it at the wrong time. They're going back and reevaluating all kinds of stuff at CPA. Like how they took their foot off the gas against Star Marianas. Well, now they're going to step back on the gas on Star Marianas by not reconsidering their rates and all that other stuff. Now that Joe Zuzu was removed as the chair, and then resigned, they're going to try to reinstate all the stuff, all the reform that they were doing. I can tell you, I think they're doing it at the absolute worst time. I think this looks bad for CPA. I think it looks bad for the board leadership for CPA. It especially looks bad because what they're doing, they're going back to a previous track that might not have been working out for the airport. I'm telling you, it's not great. We're going to see publicly what these next moves are going to be. I don't think they should be doing this before the election. I don't think they should do it right before the election at all. It's not good for at least one of the people. Especially because of what they're looking at doing. And the potential for CPA to slip way down the rung. There's so many different things that could happen. But the big word that gets thrown around is receivership. That's not a tomorrow thing, right? But if CPA doesn't fulfill its obligations, if it doesn't do the things it's supposed to do, they could find themselves in a bad spot with the FAA and with their grantors. And if they're not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. And the question is that even a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, sure, it might make us look bad. Like we can't handle it. But can we handle it? I mean, I know we have we can handle it. But I almost feel like it's not a bad thing. Get a little slap. Say, hey, you guys need to stop jerking around with this and do it the way it's supposed to be done. And you know what? Let's get these guys, this next generation, to start doing this stuff. Let's get past all these little pissing matches and just have some people who want to do it the right way. They don't want to be led around on a string. I'm telling you, I think that if you replace that entire board full of 30 and 40 somethings who aren't all caught up in this kind of stuff, they're going to be hungry to learn all this stuff. They're not just going to throw the rule books away, say, oh, it's too much for me to read. I mean, maybe. But if you get the real sharp ones who really care about this kind of stuff, then they're going to do what's right. It's not saying that the guys who are there can't do it because of their age at all. Of course not. Well, that's great, Tobat. That's awesome. But really, I think you've got an additional layer. You got like 3 decades each of, personal gripes with each other or parties and all that other stuff. You can't just peel that callus away. Just redo it. But redo it with people who aren't entrenched in like party stuff. That's the other thing. Get a freaking professional in there. You look at the board right now, how many of them are like aviation professionals? None. How about like airports? No. Seaports? No. I don't know that we have any other kind of ports. New ports. Seriously. Why wouldn't you want to get engineers involved? Because you got to deal with all those construction projects. Why don't we have any, aside from engineers, who else do we have in there? Like real labor experts. You had a business expert. You just kicked him out because you didn't like his personality. Yeah, the place needs to be run like a real business. It's not an employment agency. And if we are overstaffing and overcharging, then we need to readjust everything that we're doing about the airport. And that's it. I don't know. Talk about that all day. We're not going to be able to fix that, but we can work on fixing ourselves. We can start by getting in shape. Talking to yourself, Brad? Yes, I am. There's not a better place in Saipan, though, to go do it than right down the street with our friends over at Laddiebuilt 24-Hour Fitness. That's right. It's in Chalankanoa. It's got a great facility. It's got great parking, and it's got a great deal of equipment. The only thing it needs is you. You can't miss it. Go look for the tallest building in Chalankanoa. It's the Aquarius Beach Tower. Right at the base of it, you're going to find a gray building with green highlights. And oh my gosh, Laddiebill 24-Hour Fitness, the coolest stuff. And they're getting all full-on air cons for the second floor now too. That place is gonna be even better than it is right now. They've got great free weights, they've got great racks, they've got great machines, they've got great bikes, they got the spin bikes, they've got the treadmills, they've got classes, they've got fitness instructors, they've got the smoothies, they've got the protein shakes, they've got, what else do they have? They have all kinds of supplements. They've got great gear. They've got a hot sauna. They got a cold plunge. They got an octagon. Heck, they got everything. The only thing they need is you. So go on down there and tell them that we sent you. And you'll find out for yourself why more people are making the move over to Laddiebill 24-Hour Fitness.
Persistence to build, be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a Lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build, be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
If you're a person with a disability in the CNMI, you have certain rights that protect your ability to vote. This video contains some information about your rights and some resources available to you in protecting those rights.
What are some of your voting rights as a person with a disability? You have the right to vote regardless of your disability. You have the right to cast your vote privately without disclosing your vote to anyone. But you also have the right to ask for assistance as needed. Polling place workers should be ready and available to assist and accommodate your needs. CNMI law requires that you must be registered to vote in the CNMI. You can vote if you are a citizen or national of the United States, at least 18 years of age on the date of the election, domiciled in the CNMI, a resident of the CNMI, and have resided in the Commonwealth for 120 days, are not serving a sentence for a felony, have not been declared by the court of unsound mind, and have registered to vote at least 60 days before the election.
As a voter with a disability, you have the right to vote in an accessible voting place. That means you can get from your car through the door to cast your ballot without physical barriers or impediments.
Under the CNMI law, any voter who needs help in casting a ballot is entitled to request for assistance. A poll supervisor or the executive director of the Commonwealth Election Commission can provide assistance at the polling place, or you can exercise your right to curbside vote. However, whether you vote at curbside or not is your choice. No poll worker can force you to vote curbside. If you are unable to mark your ballot, you may select up to 2 people to help you cast your vote, except that they cannot be your employer or your employer's agent.
The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 requires public entities to provide progress access, reasonable modification of policy, auxiliary aids and service where necessary to afford an individual with a disability an equal opportunity to participate in and enjoy the benefits of the services, program, or activity being conducted by the public entity.
Our primary goal is to have 100% participation of eligible voters in all elections, 100% polling place accessibility, and options for all voters who seek independent and private voting. If you want to know more about your voting rights, please contact the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated at 670-235-7273 or 74. Or you can simply visit our website at www.nmpasi.org.
This video was brought to you by the Administration for Community Living and does not necessarily reflect their official views.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. come here often?
Good morning, Marianas. It is 8:08 here in not exactly sunny Saipan. That's right. It's a little gloomy-ish. You see the windshield wipers going out there. Headlights not on. Maybe a little bit. But that's what we got out there. It's going to be a little bit rainy. It's going to be like this throughout the whole weekend. Woo! That's right. Break out those umbrellas, baby. Unless you just go outside, throw a little shampoo on you. Get yourself a free shower on the way to work. Why not? Stick your head out the window. It's going to be great. Hey, folks. The good news is that Paradise Dental is the dental place for you. You know what? The turnover is coming up for government employees. That's coming up. It's next month, I think. Oh, geez. Let's go back to that. Starting to slow down a little bit. All right, let's go back. All right, yeah, so the turnover for government insurance for dental is coming up, I think, next month. And the thing is, one, you should use the benefits that you've got with your dental plan right now. But you should think about where you're going to go afterwards. Are you going to stay with the same dental plan that you have already, or are you going to go with the lowest cost that's available right now? Paradise Dental, just remember 3 numbers, 456. 456, what's that all about? 456, 456. So $4 is what it costs for you to get a single plan. $5 is what it costs for you to get a doubles plan. So it's just like you're dating someone. Maybe you're just married and that's it. You got a family of like 20? You got 20 kids? Still, it's only $6. It is the best dental plan that you can get. It's 456. Now, of course, we'll give you some more details on that, but when we get a little bit closer. But it's a really good deal. It's the best deal in town, no question about it. And I'm telling you, you guys do not want to miss out on the plan that they're going to have for government employees that they're going to be launching to you. It's definitely worth giving them a call. Number is 234-4040, 234-4040. You can find out more also if you go to paradisedentalspa.com. And maybe you just want to text them. You could do that too, 785-7305. They're on Middle Road. You can't miss them. They're that nice orange building with all the nice people inside. And they've got great stuff. Also, the Island Smiles discount dental plan is pretty great too. 20 to 50% savings on all dental services at Paradise Dental Spa. And there's no exceptions on that. Let's talk about some of the other things before we get on to our next one real quick though. For Paradise Dental Spa, they're great. They're family-oriented care. They've got warm, welcoming environment for people of all ages. I loved it when I was there, and I was watching kids having a great time too. Even every chair, you don't even have to worry about looking at your phone when you're in the dentist chair either. There's a TV like by every chair that you can change to watch whatever you want. Maybe you're more of a Blues Clues guy. I don't know, but you can watch sports too. Whatever you want, you got it. They've got, again, those exclusive discounts, 20 to 50% off of all services with the Island Smiles discount dental plan. They've also got comprehensive services from cleanings to cosmetic dentistry, from your first dental visit to your last. They've got a lot of experienced technicians, friendly, skilled professionals, and I can tell you firsthand from coming to meet them and working with them, that is absolutely true. They welcome walk-ins. And they'll help you as soon as you can, especially when you need it. They'll also help you to be preventative with all that stuff and keep your smile healthy and long-term. I'll tell you what, we could talk about them all day because they're great, but the most important thing is you go down there for yourself and find out. 234-4040, 234-4040. I would be blown away if you didn't feel better when you walk out of there than you do when you walk in there. I mean, that's even if you don't get a checkup. That's just based on how they make you feel. They're great. They really are. They're outstanding. So Paradise Dental Spa. We'll tell you about them. I'll tell you what, I need to go and get me some more medicine, I think. I'm starting to feel it again. Trying to get all ramped up for this stuff, guys, daily. This is how it works. When you're under the weather and you're doing this stuff, it's just an absolute blast. It is. Hey, by the way, a reminder that our phone lines are open, 789-2323, 789-2323. Oh, geez. Hold on. This is for us. One moment. As this pops in, Dun, dun, dun. Nope. This is fine, and that's fine too. Oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, that's a great message. Just to remind you guys, we've got something that's gonna be running here pretty soon. But if you are interested in running your ads and stuff like that, yes, reach out to me for sure, because we'll do it for you. We'll get you all the info on how that works, becoming a sponsor. Maybe it's just for the election time, you name it. But we can help you with all that kind of stuff. Even though we're getting close now, because what do we got? 13, 4, we got 2 weeks left plus 5 days. We have less than 3 weeks before the election. And for the election, we're going to be there at the multi-purpose center when the votes start coming in, when the votes are tabulated and they start reeling in and everything. We'll be there all night until that number is done. Just like we were last time, we'll be there. It should be a lot of fun, I'm sure. And where else would you rather be? And when we do that, we'll have the full setup, so we'll be able to take your calls and everything too. And it's gonna be great. We'll be filling a lot of time. I know that, and we'll be excited to talk about that and who your bets are for all the different places. Maybe we'll go on pizza runs again to Godfather's like we did last time. It was really fun doing that. And we'll go around. We're probably not going to hit all the camps. I mean, like, it's easier when there was a runoff for governor, right? I mean, there's only 2 camps, but there's 5 different people running for Kalili's position. We're not going to go to all 5 of those spots, and we're not going to probably hit all those different headquarters. But I'd love to be able to do those remote spots for you. We're definitely set up to do it, where we can have those kind of remote calls, video calls too. So we'll have folks from the camps, but I don't know that we're going to drive down there to do those actual spots. So we are looking forward to that for show. All right. I want to show you this video because I thought it was really good. But before I do, Saipan Humane Society. I know you guys, they spent years letting people know about Saipan Cares for Animals, which I guess also exists, but I don't think it does the same kind of stuff anymore. But the Saipan Humane Society is in full force right now. And boy, oh boy, they are helping folks with their dogs and their pets, getting them spayed and neutered right now. My dog was one of them. And it was after we did the show 2 days ago, on Tuesday, dropped our dog off, and came and picked him up at the end of the day. And it was a veritable who's who of pet owners in Saipan, because everybody was there. I saw legislators, I saw high-ranking government officials, high-ranking private sector officials, and just regular everyday folks like us who are going in there and getting their pets. Because it's so few and far between the opportunities to get your pets spayed and neutered. And we know that we have a crazy amount of pets out here, right? And not just pets, but like the boonie dogs, the strays and all that. So this really helps with the population control for all the pets. And boy, are they pros. They did such a great job. My dog's definitely the beneficiary. He's getting used to a new future of a new existence of probably a lot more comfortable running outages. But right now, he's still recovering from the loss of his coin purse. But the staff there, they were outstanding. They were so nice. They left us with some pain medication for him, and he's doing just fine. Our guy's doing just fine. So that's a good thing. All right, well, we do have the latest update from the Associated Press that popped at 8, so we're going to get to that right now. And we'll come back. We'll get you guys more of our local headlines after that. But just a big shout out to the folks from the Saipan Humane Society. I know they're working really hard on making that work for the community. And then we're going to have them come in on a regular basis to bring us their adoptable pet or pets of the week. If they could do it weekly, we want to have them come in weekly. We were just talking about it, but really their bigger priority was trying to make sure that they can get all those pets through for their clinic. So anyway, that's what we got for right now. We're going to get you the latest from the Associated Press. So stick around. Here you go.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Israeli airstrikes pounded areas across Lebanon again today. Officials say at least 27 killed over the past 24 hours. Karen Shamas reports more than a dozen in the southern town of Kana.
Lebanon's civil defense said 15 bodies had been recovered from the rubble of a building and that rescue efforts were still underway. There was no immediate comment from the Israeli military on the strikes in Kana. Kana has been a constant target of the Israeli military, which killed at least 100 civilians in an Israeli shelling of a UN compound in the town in 1996. Israel killed dozens more Lebanese in Kana in an Israeli strike in 2006. I'm Karen Shamas.
Ukraine's president has outlined his victory plan to parliament. Major points include an invitation to join NATO and permission to use Western weapons to strike military targets inside Russia. In this country, early in-person voting has begun in Georgia. More than 310,000 ballots cast yesterday, another 180,000 through this afternoon, and 30,000 mail ballots accepted. That's nearly 10% of the votes cast in 2020. Yesterday, a judge put on hold a new rule requiring 3 separate poll workers count the number of Election Day ballots by hand. Meantime, in Alabama,
a federal judge is halting an Alabama program that made thousands of legal voters inactive ahead of the November elections. Republican Secretary of State Wes Allen launched the program in August, saying it would begin a process of removing non-citizens from state voter rolls. Testimony this week before a federal judge revealed that over a third of the more than 3,200 voters identified by the program were in fact citizens who are legally allowed to vote. A U.S. district judge ruled that all of those identified by the program would be made active again and can vote in the November elections. I'm Haya Panjwani.
Vice President Kamala Harris campaigning in Pennsylvania again today, while former President Trump scheduled to hold a town hall-style event on Univision. This is AP News. Amazon and Google are investing in the next generation of nuclear reactors. Both are seeking new sources of carbon-free electricity to meet the increasing demands from data centers and artificial intelligence. And Seth Sutel now with the AP Markets Report.
Stocks closed higher on Wall Street following solid profit reports from Morgan Stanley, United Airlines, and other big companies. The S&P 500 climbed 0.5% Wednesday, a day after sliding from its all-time high. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 337 points to its record high. That's about 0.8%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.3%. Energy stocks were doing better than they were a day earlier. Stocks in the chip industry also held up better. That came a day after a warning about flagging demand from a key supplier to the chip-making industry. Dutch company ASML said on Tuesday that market segments outside of AI were taking longer than expected to recover. Seth Sutel, New York.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thank you for listening.
If you're a person with a disability in the CNMI, you have certain rights that protect your ability to vote. This video contains some information about your rights and some resources available to you in protecting those rights.
What are some of your voting rights as a person with a disability? You have the right to vote regardless of your disability. You have the right to cast your vote privately without disclosing your vote to anyone. But you also have the right to ask for assistance as needed. Polling place workers should be ready and available to assist and accommodate your needs. CNMI law requires that you must be registered to vote in the CNMI. You can vote if you are a citizen or national of the United States, at least 18 years of age on the date of the election, domiciled in the CNMI, a resident of the CNMI, and have resided in the Commonwealth for 120 days, are not serving a sentence for a felony, have not been declared by the court of unsound mind, and have registered to vote at least 60 days before the election.
As a voter with a disability, you have the right to vote in an accessible voting place. That means you can get from your car through the door to cast your ballot without physical barriers or impediments.
Under the CNMI law, any voter who needs help in casting a ballot is entitled to request for assistance. A poll supervisor or the executive director of the Commonwealth Election Commission can provide assistance at the polling place, or you can exercise your right to curbside vote. However, whether you vote at curbside or not is your choice. No poll worker can force you to vote curbside. If you are unable to mark your ballot, you may select up to 2 people to help you cast your vote, except that they cannot be your employer or your employer's agent.
The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 requires public entities to provide progress access, reasonable modification of policy, auxiliary aids and service where necessary to afford an individual with a disability an equal opportunity to participate in and enjoy the benefits of the services, program, or activity being conducted by the public entity.
Our primary goal is to have 100% participation of eligible voters in all elections, 100% polling place accessibility, and options for all voters who seek independent and private voting. If you want to know more about your voting rights, please contact the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated at 670-235-7273 or 74. Or you can simply visit our website at www.nmpasi.org.
This video was brought to you by the Administration for Community Living and does not necessarily reflect their official views.
Number 14, it's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down 3-0.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it, and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, is just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, we reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
Marianas, welcome back. It is 8:27 in the morning. It is October 17th. 17th is a big number for 17 anyway, is a big number for New York Jets fans. As Devontae Adams making his way over to New Jersey. Is it in New York? No, they're in New Jersey. There's only one team in New York. Let's not kid ourselves there. You know it's the Buffalo Bills. By the way, they picked up Amari Cooper. Holy cow. Like 2 big-time receivers being traded in the first day. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Wait. We might have an opportunity for something really cool. That would work. Oh, no way. Let's do this. This will be really cool. Can call video here. Okay, this is pretty neat. it looks like we're going to do something. Was not planned, but it's going to be great. We're actually trying to line it up for either later today or tomorrow. But it looks like we are going to have one of our friends to talk weather with us. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to just give him a call now. So get ready because we are going to have. Let's move this over here. Oh, it looks like we are in the process of making it happen. I see him. He's there. I can only see a little hint of him, though.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Do you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think I'm probably blowing you away with the volume there.
Let me see. I'm going to change my connection very quick.
All right. And while you're doing that, we are broadcasting now to everybody. So, hey, Doom, good to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning in. We are on right now. We've got Landon Aidlet, our friend, the meteorologist from the National Weather Service in Guam. And he's finally hung up his blocks for a little while to talk some weather after working pretty hard on getting that. Man, so it's so funny. I'm looking at you. I'm going to have to turn my head sideways just so I can see. There you go. That's magic.
Is that better? Let me try now. Did that work fine?
Now it looks good.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. All right, there we go. I got you on there. You're on for everybody right now. And, man, I'll tell you what. I was not expecting the weather that we got right now. It's a little bit more gloomy looking. You know, we got windshield wipers going and everything, and it looks like it's going to be like this for the next couple of days. And what the heck is a king tide cycle?
Yeah, the king tide, that's basically the higher high tides associated with the full moon and the new moon cycle. And so right now we have the October full moon that's taking place today, actually. And so that's additional gravitational force. It's going to kind of help bring those tides higher up across this region. And so that's typical during the full moon cycle, especially in the winter months as the moon is closest to the earth. And so we're going to be seeing those higher high tides across the region. But on top of that, as we are in that gradual transition from El Nino early this year to INSO-neutral now to a La Nina pattern, possibly in the next month or so, the sea levels across the West and North Pacific are a little bit higher than normal. So the tidal predictions, they're a little bit lower than what is the reality. And so we're going to see those higher water levels, especially during high tides, but those low tides will also be lower than normal because of that gravitational force. So keep that in mind. The good news is we're not going to see a lot of inundation and other problems with seawater going over what's normally dry lands with this king tide cycle because we're in the absence of any significant weather events or large wave and surf events. So when you have all those ingredients together, that's where you have your most problems, especially across Micronesia, where those islands are very vulnerable to sea level inundation.
Well, it looks wild. I mean, seeing just the way the weather is going through here and then seeing that we've got increasing chances of rain as the days go on. In fact, getting a little bit nastier. It's going to step up quite a bit tomorrow, even, it looks
Correct. And so this is what we're looking at. We have this disturbance. So let me wash out those overnight frames right quick. I'm going to get rid of those. But we have this weak disturbance just been sitting to our east, and it's starting to make its westward progression across the Sinai. And so this is nothing significant to worry about, but it is producing those showers and thunderstorms. You're seeing a burst of convection coming in right on the eastern coastal waters of Saipan. That's where you're having your heaviest weather, as well as to the west. So if this was sitting on top of Saipan right now, you would be getting a deluge, but that is about 30 to 50 miles to your west. But with that said, you're kind of in a dry slot right now. You're getting that overcast, maybe some spotty light showers, and then some sunshine just to your east. But this is going to be your pattern for the next 24 to 36 hours. And so you could see those brief, heavy downpours and maybe some thunderstorms, but nothing significant. This is typical wet season weather. It's a little bit drier near Guam with some showers and thunderstorms sitting just offshore to our east. But we're going to probably see some of that weather develop over the island today with that island daytime heating. This is one of those heavy cores of showers right there. So this disturbance is going to be pushing off to our west into the Philippine Sea, where we have another circulation. It's going to be complicated, especially going to the the next week, starting Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, because the forecast models do have a circulation over here and a circulation over here, kind of merging together with perhaps a third low-level circulation coming up out of Micronesia in some shape or form over the next couple of days. What does that mean for us? Well, we could see a wetter weather pattern developing later this weekend into early next week with more, perhaps a large monsoon type circulation with winds coming up out of the southwest from across Palau, Yap, and into Guam and the CNMI. There could be some tropical weather development. Right now, there's no credible threats specific to Guam and the CNMI, but it will be interesting next week for interest in the Philippine Sea. So we will have to watch that closely.
You know, it's funny. A couple days ago, I was going down from the college, going down Azterlai and looking out over the water and just amazed when I looked at this cloud formation, and I couldn't see it over the trees. It was mostly to the south of us is where the where any precipitation would have been, but it was such a massive formation where there was really nothing else around, but how compact it was and how dark it was and how tall it was. You know, coming down the hill, just being able to have that kind of a perspective to really almost just admire where this thing, it looked like it didn't affect anything else except for where it was, but it was so intense where it was, it blocked out the sun.
And that's the case sometimes in the tropics, especially with the winds that lighten up. Is the late Dr. Mark Lander from University of Guam. He was a close friend of ours here at the National Weather Service. He would call it those rain bombs. And so you have a lot of atmospheric moisture. You have these clouds and showers develop in one location over the islands, and it can drop intense rainfall in a very short period of time. Rainfall rates of 4, 5, or 6 inches per hour, and that's pretty significant rainfall, and that'll quickly go to runoff. And so when you have those rainfall rates, outside of a typhoon, you probably won't get it more than about 15 or 20 minutes, but that's enough to cause some runoff and a lot of urban flooding and stuff for a short period of time. But then it washes out. But in the tropical storms, the typhoons, those rainfall rates, they could be sustained for a matter of hours, especially if you're in an eye wall.
Well, it was pretty intense looking at it for sure. Man, you know, I'm curious. You know, I'm watching all this stuff that you guys have been doing for, and this is not even weather now. I'm talking about the building, the Tower for Humanity. And you guys had a lot of judges came in. You had a lot of competitions for the construction, the facility itself. And then I just saw it all decked out with the Christmas lights and everything too. And I liked how you you melded that in with the elevator footage and all that stuff. Is there more? Are you guys still doing more with this? Maybe help give our guys a wrap up. I mean, they were with us along the way, but you know, where are we at and what's going on?
Yeah, definitely the tower is going to remain in state through Christmas. The Ishganya Shopping Center asked us to keep it there because they want to do something different for Christmas. And so they're going to be stringing up lights in the atrium of the center court. I think it's going to be this weekend. And then probably this weekend we'll dismantle the shopping mall construction around the tower just to make more room for the lift to get in there, because we're going to, once I get back from the CNMI for my trip next week to visit you all next week, we're going to put Christmas lights up on the tower. So we're going to light that thing up and deck it out for Christmas as well as other decorations. Plan is in development right now what to do with the tower, but it's going to be there through Christmas. So for anyone in Saipan that's going to be flying through to Guam over the next couple months, definitely stop by the Ganya Shopping Center, take some photos, and enjoy the tower, because it's going to be there through Christmas and it's going to be lit up and decked out for the holidays. But we did have a great time. We were invited to the Taiwan National Day Gala on Saturday evening. Brandon and I were there, and so the Director General of the TECO, they invited us over to be a part of the event, and they showed some of the time-lapse footage on the screens, and it was really nice. But I also found out from one of our political leaders, they were in meetings over the weekend in Bangkok, and I think the tower came up in discussion with the Department of Foreign Affairs, and they were looking up on their phones at the tower. So it's made waves in the political circles in Bangkok. It's also made local news or national news in Taiwan, which took me by surprise. I did not expect it to make national attention in Taiwan, but it made it to all the major news outlets in Taipei and across Taiwan. So great stuff. The charity, my gosh, we had goals set for the number of teams and the amount of cans collected. we exceeded those goals for cans collected. We were looking at getting about 15,000 cans of food, and I would put the estimate somewhere between 16 and 19,000 cans of food collected, as well as other items for kids here on the island. And several $1,000s in donations were raised by the charity as well, including a $1,000 donation from a businessman in Taipei. So fantastic stuff. And this tower really served a great cause to rally people, not just on Guam, but across the region, to come together to help those in need. And so, again, we hope to expand this to the CNMI soon.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Tobat, Chris, he was saying that he had a great time. In fact, he just commented, he's like, man, that 101 project was awesome, and to see all the way up at the top. Thanks for the lift. Man, being up there and being up on that lift was that was intense. I'll tell you what, but knowing that door can open up on the side, and it was kind of a tight fit, and every little movement. I mean, I know you guys get used to it after a while, right? But man, being up there for the first time is like, woo.
After a while, and the first time I got up there, I was sweating buckets, and I said, "This is not going to work." But you get used to it, and you go up inch by inch by inch with the tower construction, and it grows on you. Then you miss it after it's all over with. But I am working up plans for next year, assuming we just have the one event with Lori and Construction next October. I already have a tower in mind, and I hope to visit it. I have no plans to go to the city yet that has the tower. I'm not going to announce it, but I'm going to try to get out to that particular city sometime next year and get eyes on the tower, which does hold a world record for a specific aspect of its construction. And so this won't be a 25 or 26 foot tower of sorts, but it's going to be complicated in its own technical ways. And I have a plan to build it, and we're going to have fun with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, Tobat just said he lost some logs underneath when he got up that high. So that's great. You mentioned that about the attention coming from Taiwan, and it's funny because I just got sent this that they are doing like holiday stuff from November 27th to February 2nd. Excuse me. Excuse me. That they've got round trip flights from Taipei to Guam that are on a crazy, ridiculous price. So, I mean, maybe people are going to want to fly down just to take a look at your tower. That's the hope, right?
We hope so. And yeah, they announced it at the Teco Gala the other night, and it was already making news headlines here. And so it's fantastic to have direct flights again from Guam to Taipei. And maybe I'll hop on one of those flights because I love visiting Taiwan. And I know this CNMI's governor was also in attendance, and we met up with him, and he stated that they hope China Air can get those flights also to Saipan. So that would be great for the region overall if we could get those flights as well to Saipan.
$187 to $234 round trip from Taipei to Guam.
Jeez.
Can you imagine? That's
fantastic.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is outstanding. If I was in Guam, if I was still there, I would definitely be booking a flight to do that, to check it out, because that's outstanding. I would love to do that. Speaking of that, we're going to have them on the show on the 21st to talk about all that, everything that they've got going on. We're going to talk about the letter that they wrote that went into the papers about not being left behind and everything. We'll talk about things like this, talk about the tower and this great press, and then also ask about, hey, what could we do for us folks here in the NMI to try to attract more attention from the folks from our friends in Taiwan? So it'd be great to get more tourists from Taiwan, but have opportunities like that too. Have like a great opportunity for us to go there and make it easier for us to go there.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And of course, we look forward to working with you all in the CNMI. I think that would be great to collaborate and also bring more attention to the region. And regarding the charity, if Lori does expand the charity to operate out of Saipan, perhaps we can get some logs up there and build something in Saipan as well. So if the venue requests, we would be happy to bring some logs up there and build something to rally the Saipan community together for something big and exciting.
So I got the big invite.
We can out through Guam.
Yes. Well, we got the invite. I think it's the 24th is when you're here for the the Homeland Security Emergency Management.
doing a media workshop. I'm printing out documents for that media workshop that's going to be on Thursday, as well as getting all these training documents for the Tropical Cyclone Awareness and Preparedness course that's going to be on Monday in Rota, Wednesday in Tinian, and Saipan on Friday, which is also the 6th anniversary of Super Typhoon U2. So Friday, October 25th is the 6th anniversary.
Wow. And that time just went by. I'll tell you what, it's
so fast.
When you go by, though, you'll still see those tents around.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got that going on. And then, what are your dates when you're here?
I'll be on Saipan, arriving on the evening of the 23rd next Wednesday, and then I'll be coming back to Guam Saturday morning. So Thursday and Friday all day.
That's super tight for you. Any chance we'll be able to get you in the studio at all? Will you even have time for a quick visit?
Absolutely. I will be there.
All right. That would be great.
Probably Thursday morning next week.
Okay. Well, we'll be happy to do all that stuff, whatever you need. We'll accommodate you, but I know that the big part is your actual mission to do that stuff with them. But it'd be an absolute treat to have you in with us in the studio. Show off what we got a little bit over here. How fancy we are. So you're thinking Thursday morning?
Yes. Yeah, Thursday morning, I think that'll be fine. I'll do some outreach and do some work with the local media that morning and just talk shop, talk weather, and talk all things interest to the CNMI.
Okay, I'm putting it in the calendar right now. Boom, boom. Wow.
Me too.
Perfect. That's great. All right, so we got you all logged in there. I'll look forward to that for sure. So that means all you potential sponsors out there, while you're watching that is a great opportunity to spoil this guy with some of your food and all that other stuff. Bring it on down Thursday morning. Hey, I'll tell you what, you made a big impact on us, you and your brother and the whole team down there. The stuff that Be Heartfelt with Lori, boy, I just tell you, so moving hearing about the stories and the impact that you guys are making with your passion. And anything that we could do to be a part of it, we'd love to. I don't know how us little folks can help you big fellas out there on the big islands. But if there's something that we could do, we'll be happy to do it.
It's all about individuals contributing, and that's one thing I like about this region. I've been saying it for years, is Guam and the CNMI, it's one of those places. It's not a big metropolitan area where you just disappear in the masses, but I think it's of the right size. It's way bigger than where I grew up, a much larger population and area, but at the same time, it's of the size that any one single person can do something to make a difference. And I think that's where we need to focus, that anybody, no matter who you think you are, you can make a difference. You stick to it, you have a dream, and you reach for those dreams and make it happen. And so that's where Brandon and I are. I mean, who would have known Linkalok, something we grew up with in elementary school, would come to what it's become. And so I think that's where we need to focus and stick to something and make a difference for the better.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, while you're here, man, your schedule is going to be tight. Do you have anything lined up with anybody? Oh, geez, somebody's calling. Do you have anything lined up with anybody who could potentially be a host venue for your a potential project here?
I do not have any host yet. I do have some ideas. I always have ideas, but really, we will wait for a host venue to reach out to us and say, hey, we would love to partner with you and for you to build something in our lobby, our facility, our space, because that's how we operate. All of our projects have been approached by that host venue and say, hey, we want you to do a project. And then we start discussing. So if there's a interested host out there or venue, give us a holler, and we'd love to play ball and start brainstorming some ideas.
Yeah, I can think
of
it.
Doesn't have to be 20 or 30 feet tall, but it can be a variety of ideas.
Yeah, I can think of a couple already, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's what we got to reach out and try to get you guys to meet these guys. I'm thinking of DFS as like one of the spots. While we got it, that spot over there by the elevator, that over by the old Hard Rock and everything like that, where you could put that right there, right in the heart of it. So anyway, that's just one idea, one spot. Hey, you got a big
one of many ideas.
Yes, you've got a big group coming in, so I know that your schedule's kind of tight this morning, but I'm really glad that you were able to fit us in. So this is the Tower for Humanity is staying in place at least until Christmas. Then after that, you got to start going through the whole process of breaking it down and boxing everything up.
Yeah. And then I'll lose a room out of my house again.
You know, watching your brother do all that work with the yarn, right, with that string and everything, and he was so meticulous putting all that up. Is that how it's going to come down also, or is it going to be one of those swoop, just go through with some scissors and?
We will probably pull it off in one meticulous blob, just to keep the yarn available in case somebody wants to do something with it. We might donate it to whoever requests it, and that way it'll be one chunk.
Nice.
But we're going to be very meticulous and take things down in an orderly fashion so that we don't break too many blocks, especially those really, really long blocks that are the luxury ones, premium blocks.
Yeah, those are awesome. And then you had a couple that were kind of featured, right? Like the people who put a lot of work into them. Made some real fancy ones.
Yeah, we had some phenomenal logs. The one that our team member, she did with the Taipei Economic Cultural Office, she did a phenomenal job on that log. We might have to put these premium logs into a case somewhere just to immortalize them because they're unique. We had the Congressman Jim Moylan, he signed a log and put a message up there. So that'll go into a log of logs.
Nice. The Hall of Logs, the Logs of Fame. I don't know. Log of Logs makes more sense. It says, I'm looking to just check out some of the other content, the other things that came in there. It says, Landon, can you share some of the photos of the kids' buildings with the canned food? They look amazing.
Oh, yeah. If you go to our Facebook page or Instagram, it's Tower for Humanity. You'll see a lot of photos of the constructions from the different organizations. The Girl Scouts Group 406 was phenomenal. They had the second largest number of cans collected through multiple food drives and just a nice, aggressive community effort to collect the canned goods. And they built a really neat feature. But you can also find my own personal Facebook page. I have tons of photos up there. But Tower for Humanity on Facebook and Instagram will have all the photos of the constructions.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. In fact, I'm scrolling through. You guys have a ton of videos, and they were just awesome. And it looked like everybody had a great time in there. Yeah, and here's that one with the elevator. I love that one, too. In fact, here, let's... this is actually going to be funny because it's going to go right in the middle of your call while I got you on there.
Now, if you also Google search for Taipei 101 Guam, you'll probably have a number of news headlines and photos and videos come up as well. So Taipei 101 Guam, that's also a popular search target for you.
Okay, yeah, and man, look at all these cans. 19,000 cans just from one event. Over 19,000 cans that's going to go to help curb hunger for youth in Guam. It's such a great story. And about how Lori says that they don't just do it, they don't just add a school to the program unless they know they can sustain it. And by doing stuff like this, they're able to do that. They might be able to add now because of something like this.
Yeah, her goal was to get 10 students out of every school to support, and we hope to make that final and happen with this event, with the success of this event. And then it's all about the sustainability, because sustainability is everything, not just for this effort, but for living in the islands. We have to have a sustainability plan for food security, for everything we do, maintaining buildings. And so it's great to roll out a plan, but you also have to sustain it then. And so that's where Lori's heart and passion is right now, is making sure we can sustain that. And so this construction is a big step in that direction, as well as the support from so many community partners throughout the year.
Well, that's great. And we look forward to being there with you every time you get to do this kind of stuff. It was great for us. We love being down there. No doubt about it.
It's great to have you.
And we'll try to be even better equipped for it next time around. I'll tell you what, though, I picked up some kind of bug while I was down there, and I have been battling this thing since I got back. I literally I did the show the next day. And then after that, I was like in bed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then Tuesday, I got out just to do the show, went back like, that's it. I'm just trying to battle back from this thing.
It's tough when you travel the globe.
Yeah, I'm a real jet setter. No doubt about it. All right. Well, hey, Landon, thanks so much for being with us today. It's great to have you on all the time, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
See y'all next week. I look forward to getting back to the CNMI finally. Rain or shine, I will be there.
All right. Well, take care. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That's our buddy Landon Aidlet from Guam. He is the coolest meteorologist, the Marianas meteorologist. He's not the Molesso meteorologist or the meteorologist. That's Tobat Castro for sure. But it's great to have him on here and being back with us again. And man, that was just awesome. All right. Hey, we're going to take, actually, we're going to wrap up here pretty soon because we're just about to that time of the day. We'll wait, of course, until we get to the 9 o'clock update from the Associated Press. But it was great to have that update. Oh, my gosh. But we're going to have him in studio next week on Thursday. Unfortunately, we missed our guys from forestry today. They had to make like a tree and leave. I know. But that's what we got. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. Today was not that day. That's all right. We'll get them another time. We'll get them next time for sure. Because I love having them in here. They're great. And they got all kinds of info for us whenever they do come in and talk to us about this stuff. Tomorrow we've got a great show. We've got the folks from Mango coming in. That's the Marianas Alliance of Non-Governmental Organizations. That's going to be a big win for us. And in the comments, we were talking about all the weather stuff and we kind of skipped over it. But going back to it, Jim was saying, hey, the contempt charge is still in play. It's also, this is about Governor Torres, former Governor Torres. The contempt charge is still in play. It's being appealed under a different case number, so that's not part of it. So that's good to know. It is still in the world of things, so we'll see how that stuff goes. And there's a few folks dealing with that contempt charge, or I should say almost those contempt charges, because it's a whole thing. It's a whole lot of things going on. All right, guys, we are barely hanging on with this cold and making sure that we're able to do all this stuff. I'm really thankful that Landon was able to get us in there. He was like, can we do it later this morning? I'm like, I got a meeting at 11, and that meeting I'm doing remotely because I'm still not feeling it. I'm going to wrap up and head back to the casa, go take care of my little sick kid too. He's not that little anymore, by the way. This kid's 13 and a beast. My God, thank goodness he's not as tall as me yet, so I got that on him. Plus, I got a little more, let's just say beefy. So I got that on him. Plus, he's sicker than me right now, so I can take him. But I got to take care of him first and make sure I get some soup, get some hot food, that kind of stuff that you want when you're sick. The kind of stuff that I wanted the last few days. That's what I'm going to be doing. Also, it's great to get your messages, you guys, throughout the day, throughout the past few days and everything. Just try to do this stuff in a little bit of a fog, but still coming back with it. Try not to over-medicate for any of this stuff, because then it's going to get even worse. Oh, God, I tell you. I'd rather have more of a stuffy this going on than being all NyQuil'd out or DayQuil'd out and not being able to, just still being in a little bit of a fuzz. So we're still there. Today's a little rough. I will say today's a little rough, and I'm okay with it. At least we're going for it. What else do we got going on? Oh, yeah, man, that's great to see you, man. Great to see you, too. Also, working on a couple of commercials. Going to be working on some stuff for our friends over at Triple J. That's going to be great. And what else is going on? Oh, hey, speaking of that, not Triple J necessarily, but Joe 10 is going to be taking over for Delta Management at all the Shell stations. So you'll see things are on sale at all the Shell stations. I think it's like 15 to 20% off right now on just about everything that they've got, because they're trying to clear all their stock by the end of the month. So if you are gassing up, that's your time to save on some good stuff too. Because again, there's a total changeover. So like the stock that you've been used to over at all the different Shell stations, all gonna change. So go and save yourself some money. Go down there and check it out. All right, so I'm gonna get you guys, hold on, whoa, 1 second. Wanna make sure I got it for you. Not that, but that. There we go. I do wanna show this, but I gotta see if I could make this full screen. Right now, I'm not able to do it. Nope. There's a video that we got from the forestry guys. I'll tell you what we can do. I could probably do this in a real snap. Let's do this. Call it Tree 2. Because we got a bunch of stuff from the guys from forestry that we're going to walk them through today, because Doom sent us all kinds of great stuff. Because they're too busy doing good stuff. We're the ones who want to talk about it. They're the ones doing all of it. So hold on, here we go. We're gonna put in all these files. Here we go. Where are we at? Forestry. By the way, gotta love these guys from forestry for getting us all this stuff. Really great. Real proactive. Here we go. Here's just some of the stuff that they were working on as part of Arbor Month. You're looking at it right now. It goes with their seeds, goes with looking at the erosion when you don't have trees down there at Micro Beach. Trying to do some real planting, trying to save what's there, and just showing the importance. And see what happens when you start losing your trees. You start losing your coastline. And tree after tree is falling around Micro Beach because the erosion is just getting more and more intense. But the good folks of forestry trying to keep that erosion at bay. That's them doing all the stuff over there earlier. You saw that shot of them at Marianas Business Plaza. I know we're blowing through it really quick just because it's at the end of the broadcast, but I'll tell you, those guys are doing a great job. We're big fans. And we hope to have them in studio again. Bring us some plants. Maybe that's what we need in here. Good morning, Gloria. Great to see you. Look at that little ray of sunshine there at the end. Gotta love that. All right, while we're cycling through this here, I'm just gonna refresh just to make sure the AP is there. It is. So we're gonna close out on that, you guys. I wanna say thanks to all you guys for tuning in every day. It's great that we get to do this. I can't believe this is my life still, but it is, and it's great. Remember, tomorrow we got the mango folks coming in. Now, they're not handing out mangoes, but they are going to hand out all kinds of tips of how you can have a great non-governmental organization, set it up and all that stuff. Included is Francis Sablon. Oh my God, heart. Be still, be still. Gosh, one of the quintessential beauties of the Marianas. Don't get ego, Kathy. But seriously, Francis Sablon's going to come in here, and I'm really looking forward to having them come in and tell us everything that's great with their organization. So we will see you guys shortly. But first, let's get you the latest update and send you on your way for a great day here in the CNMI with the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. In a speech to Ukraine's parliament, President Volodymyr Zelensky told lawmakers the country's Western partners are increasing pressure to negotiate with Russia, hinting it would be unfavorable to Kyiv. Karen Shamas reports he outlined a 5-point victory plan.
Zelensky says his plan to win his country's fight against Russia's invasion could bring peace next year, but it contains a step that some crucial Western allies have so far refused to approve, inviting Ukraine to join NATO before the war ends. Western partners have so far stopped short of publicly voicing their support for it, despite Zelensky's efforts. This particular point could be seen as the most ambitious and the most likely to make Western allies balk. I'm Karen Chamas.
Israeli airstrikes pounding Lebanon again. Officials say at least 27 people killed over the past 24 hours. The Israeli military says it targeted Hezbollah command centers and weapons facilities embedded in civilian areas. And it says the militant group launched more than 90 projectiles toward Israel today, wounding 4. In the presidential campaign, Donald Trump scheduled for a town hall-style event on Univision. Last night in Atlanta, he told supporters,
Kamala's migrant invasion, and that's what it is also devastating our great African-American community, stealing American jobs, crushing wages, undercutting the voting power of our own citizens, and bringing drugs, crime, and death to our country. And the African-American community and the Hispanic community is being devastated with the jobs.
Vice President Kamala Harris campaigning in Pennsylvania with Republican supporters, including former Congressman Adam Kinzinger.
This guy is the ultimate boat anchor around Republicans' necks, and we know it. This election, no doubt, is going to be close, and every vote's going to count, especially right here in Pennsylvania, and especially amongst the patriotic Republicans that are willing to put country over party.
This is AP News. If you have clear skies, could see something special tonight. The AP's Marcia Dunn says look west.
A supermoon, when the moon comes a little bit closer to Earth at the time of the full moon. And a comet discovered last year is leaving our neighborhood, but this week is the week to see it even with the naked eye. The place to look for the comet is going to be in the western sky. The best time is maybe 45 minutes after sunset, wherever you are, just above and to the right of Venus in the evening sky. So there are some concerns among scientists that the glare of the moon could obscure part of the comet's tail, but you'll still see the nucleus, the head of the comet. It's very rare to have a really visible, bright comet so close to Earth passing by at the same time of a supermoon, so a great 2-for-1.
That's AP aerospace writer Marcia Dunn, and I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
AP Sports, I'm David Schuster. 2 games played and 2 victories for the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. Tom Merriam has Tuesday night's recap.
The Yankees have jumped down to a 2-0 lead in the American League Championship Series by beating the Guardians for the second straight night 6-3. Aaron Judge finally homered for New York, driving in 3 runs to spark the offense.
Guys are excited, but we still know there's a lot of work to be done. We're playing against a good Cleveland team that's all year they battled. Had some tough games, went through a tough series with Detroit.
Judge helped the Yanks jump out to a 1-0 lead in the first inning when Brian Rocchio dropped a sky-high pop-up, enabling Gleyber Torres to score from third. Judge's sacrifice fly in the second kept a 2-run rally against start and loser Tanner Bybee and made it 3-0. The Guardians did close to within 3-2, knocking out Garrett Cole in the fifth, but the Yankee bullpen shut down Cleveland the rest of the way, with Judge's 2-run homer in the seventh sealing the game at 6-2.
The National League Championship Series resumes on Wednesday night with the Dodgers and the Mets tied at 1 game apiece. And one baseball note off the field from Tuesday as the Phillies extended the contract of manager Rob Thompson through the 2026 season. We turn now to hockey, beginning in our nation's capital with Dave Ferry reporting on the Caps and the Golden Knights.
Logan Thompson beat his old team as the Capitals knocked off the Golden Knights 4-2. Thompson turned back 24 shots against the team that traded him to Washington in June.
Obviously, getting 2 points is the most important thing, and getting the first win under the belt is always, I think, the hardest. And I think that's a great team to build off for our team. That's an elite offense and elite defense. So I think the guys came out and played an amazing game, and I think it's a step in the right direction.
The Capitals took control early in the second period as Tom Wilson, Alexei Protas, and Jacob Chychrun scored in a 3:07 span to make it 4-1. Alex Ovechkin had 2 assists, including career number 700. Jakub Vrana scored the Caps' first goal. Victor Olofsson and Jack Eichel tallied for Vegas, but Olofsson was helped off the ice following a late-game collision.
From Washington, we move down the coast to Carolina, where Dennis Cox has the roundup on the Hurricanes and the Devils.
Carolina forward Jackson Blake's goal at 10:16 of the third period proved to be the game-winning goal as the Hurricanes beat the New Jersey Devils 4-2. Seth Jarvis was happy to see his teammate net the first of his career.
That was special. It's fun to watch guys live out their dream like that, and you could tell by his celebration he was pretty excited. So it was cool to watch, and it couldn't happen to a better guy.
The Devils opened the scoring in the second period with a goal by Jack Hughes before Jarvis tied the game at 10:54 of the middle frame. Goals by Shane Gostisbehere and Blake in the third period increased Carolina's lead to 3-1, but Nico Hischier cut the deficit with a power play goal late in the third. Sebastian Aho sealed the game with an empty net goal with 1:36 to play.
And we move further south now to the Sunshine State, Tampa to be exact, where Walt Marsicano took in the Lightning and the Canucks.
The Tampa Bay Lightning won their home opener 4-1 against the Vancouver Canucks. The Bolts converted in all three frames with tallies from Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Anthony Cirelli, and Brandon Hagel. Point felt his new line mate Jake Gensel, who got the primary assist on his goal, is gelling in well.
He's got talent to make plays, but he's smart. He knows where to go. He finds time and space for himself, and he works extremely hard.
Connor Garland got Vancouver on the board in the third period. Andrei Vasilevsky stopped 26 shots to earn his second win of the season for Tampa Bay.
Other games on Tuesday, Florida 4-3 over Columbus, Minnesota down St. Louis 4-1, Seattle 7-3 better than Nashville, Dallas edging San Jose 3-2, Calgary 3-1 over Chicago, and Edmonton in overtime a 4-3 victory over Philadelphia. It was a busy day in the NFL off the field. That's coming up next. A day of trades in the NFL. We start Tuesday with Gethin Kulba telling us about a couple of star wide receivers switching teams.
The Jets acquired three-time All-Pro wideout Davante Adams from the Raiders to reunite with star quarterback Aaron Rodgers, according to two AP sources. New York is sending a conditional third-round pick in next year's draft that could become a second-rounder to Las Vegas. Meanwhile, the Bills brought in five-time Pro Bowl receiver Amari Cooper to team up with Josh Allen in a trade with the Browns, per AP source. Buffalo gave up a third-round pick in the 2025 draft as part of the trade that also included a swap of late-round picks. The move comes one day after Buffalo's 23-20 win at New York on Monday Night Football.
And the Minnesota Vikings got into the trading act Tuesday, acquiring running back Cam Akers from Houston for a future draft pick. And finally, Tom Brady was in the news as the NFL league owners approved his bid to purchase a share of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm David Schuster, AAP Sports.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami and greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Mariana.